absolute magnitude is has a specific distance.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not comparable to the brain, but I think it's irrelevant.
yeah. I mean,
So our project, I think, is 11B underscore 249. And we're going to go pull that project up in this system called Astrid. And this stands for Astronomers Integrated Desktop. And it's a graphical user interface we use to control the telescope. It's coming up. So here's the interface. So I have a couple options. Right now it says work offline. So you can do this if you just want to like play around and pretend to control the telescope or write blocks and stuff. But if you actually want to control the telescope, I'm going to do work online with control of the telescope. Click OK. Okay. And this is working because Kevin knows that we're allowed to control the telescope. And so he's put us what's called in the gateway, which means we're allowed to take control.
We just went up to where you can control the Green Bank telescope, and we set it up there that we could see if our candidate maybe was a pulsar, and it was. it was, and that was really amazing. And I up to like the moment, I was like, Cecilia, it just might come up in the screens like, like nothing's there, or, oh, there's a lot of RFI there, it must have been some wacky radio signal,
Thank you. So type prep fold and then space. Well, she's already typed the prep fold, so do space. And then we're going to do minus P and the period. Does someone want to read the period of this pulsar?
Well, a lot of people are excited, but most of the people are going to be like, what's a pulsar? And I got to explain it to them. They'll be like, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And then I'll be like, yeah, thing is, I discovered one as well. And they'll be like, really?
Well, a pulsar is essentially a massive star
A neutron star.
that explodes.
a star went through its final stage of death.
Everything heats up to about 100 billion degrees. And then that dust all combats into one little very dense, ball, pretty much. A perfect balance of heat and gravity.
It's got the mass of the sun and the size of a city like Washington, D.C.
The force of the neutrons can bounce it back, and it sustains itself.
It spins really, really fast.
Because of conservation of angular momentum, it's a much smaller body, but it still has the same amount of mass and rotation.
The period of spins in between is very accurate.
So it kind of looks like a lighthouse.
Just like a spinning light bulb in the lighthouse.
People use that analogy anyways, and it kind of reminds me of a lighthouse.
And it sets out radiation beams that we catch when it's in our line of sight.
If it's slightly off, here's Earth, here's the beam, we're not going to be able to detect it at all.
So they're just rapidly spinning neutron stars, and they can tell us a lot about the universe.
My name is Maura McLaughlin, and I'm an astronomer, and I work at West Virginia University. And I spend most of my time using radio telescopes like the Green Bank telescope, where we are. We're sitting in the control room.
My name is Duncan Lorimer. I'm a professor at WVU. I teach astronomy. I've been there since 2006.
Pulsars are born in supernova explosions when a massive star reaches the end of its life and can't support itself against gravity anymore, and the core collapses into a neutron star, and this is the pulsar.
Just to sort of summarize what we've got here, it's a very unique object. It's a star that's the size of a city but the mass of the sun. Spinning very rapidly, it's a very stable rotator, it's got an enormous magnetic field, intense gravity. It's a very exotic object.
Right now we know of over 2,000 of these pulsars in the galaxy. We think there are probably about 100,000 of them in total.
Pulsars are distributed throughout the galaxy, so the farthest ones are hundreds of thousands of light years away. So you're looking at the pulsars as they were up to 100,000 years ago, let's say.
So we've only detected a very small subset of the population because most of them are just too far and too faint to detect.
So they're really very fascinating objects to study. They probe the environment around them. They're ubiquitous. They're all across the galaxy and elsewhere in the universe.
Youngest pulsars we know of are a few hundred years old.
To billions of years for the ones that are really very stable clocks, the millisecond pulsars. They're essentially as old as the galaxy, almost as old as the universe itself.
There's a very wide range in age for the pulsars that we're discovering.
The most famous pulsar perhaps of all is the one in the Crab supernova remnant, which was seen by astronomers in China and other ancient civilizations in the year 1054 AD. So the light from that supernova first reached the Earth in the year 1054. So what we see today is a pulsar that's about 1,000 years old.